But to show up and to do what this song needs requires that I put my ego aside and I access a different part of myself. Art is a vehicle, I think, for more personal growth. Hey, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me today. As a songwriter, my goal is to create music that I feel represents me, that I am proud to share with others. But also equally important is making an impact with my music. And I can't know what that impact is necessarily, but knowing that the music that I'm making is affecting other people, to me that is a deeply rewarding process or gift or experience that I think as songwriters we have that ability to do. But the problem is, at least in my situation, is getting to the point where we allow ourselves to fully invest in our art and give ourselves to our songs. That can be really hard. I don't know about you, but I have so many half-finished sessions in my DAW of a song that I'll try to record, and I'll get going, and it will just inevitably not end up sounding how I want it to. And so I will abandon the project, forget about it, and sleep on that song for another few months, whatever it may be. But recently, part of this artist process, part of this journey as a creator, as I'm sure a lot of you can relate to, is it's a process of creative growth, and we're not always at the point where we might feel fully enabled to give ourselves to a particular song or project at the time. And I think a lot of that has to do with our egos and our sense of selves and who we see ourselves to be. And that's sort of what I want to talk about today. So I have been recording a song, and I have been dragging my feet on it. I've been putting it off for the last 3 or 4 months. But just the other week, I think I talked about this on my Substack or on this channel. I set a deadline for myself, something that I think is important to do, and I broadcasted that deadline out to people that follow me on Instagram or whatever. I let people know. Whoever's listening, maybe nobody's listening, but for me, I put the word out there. And this got me in the studio. This got me working on the song. And to my surprise, the song actually ended up, and we're about 3/4 of the way done, but the song is starting to sound a lot like how I envisioned it in my head. And I've never gotten so far on this song before. And what I'm finding, and this is where I think a lot of you guys can maybe relate to this, whether you know it or not. But you get to a point in a particular project where it feels like the song or the project is demanding that you show up more for it. That you fully give yourself to the song, and in doing so, you actually sort of shift who you think you are. You shift your artistic identity, or you shift what you were previously not allowing yourself to do. Let me try to say that in a different way, because that's confusing. In my own example here, I know that to finish the song that I'm working on, I need to show up as a different version of myself. I need to get out of my fear, get out of my what ifs, get out of my doubts and worries and I don't even know. Get out of my own way. There's a part of me that's afraid of showing up and performing. And when I say performing, I particularly mean on this song, singing, but also playing. But singing is a huge part of the expression in my music. But to show up and to do what this song needs requires that I put my ego aside and I access a different part of myself, a part of myself that is not beholden to the old fears and the old way I saw myself as an artist. And I really believe that this is so much the point of being an artist. Art is a vehicle, I think, for more personal growth. I believe that by pursuing your art, by pursuing your vision, by working on your music to get it to the point where it's representing you and it feels aligned to you and you're putting it out into the world, and it's not always going to be easy producing the music, right? It's a process, giving birth to a song or whatever it may be. It's a process. It's not always easy. But the whole point of that process, I really think, and this might be a part of it, for sure, maybe not the whole piece of it, but it's a vehicle of self-growth. And that's what I'm really discovering for myself with this project right now. And so I challenge you to think about that when you encounter resistance in your own projects. I would argue that the resistance comes from the reluctance to access a different version of ourselves, a version of ourselves that shows up in the studio, gives it our full effort without fear, without holding back, without worrying about what so-and-so may think or how people might judge this song. I challenge you to sense that reluctance, that resistance in yourself. See if it's there. It's not bad. It's human. But, being aware of it, I think, is a great first step. And it may still block you. It may still get in the way sometimes, but keep in mind that when you're working in the studio, when you're working on your music, you're not just working on a song. You're working on yourself too. And so, yeah, I don't have any steps or spiffy quotes to give you. All I can do is relate to you here on this, if you find yourself in a similar boat. And just know, you're doing hard work. You're doing important work. And I just encourage you to keep going. Keep going. So let me know if this relates to you, if you resonate with any of this. This was a bit of a rant, a bit of a weaving thread here. But yeah, I think the main thing I want to just leave you with is, and I've said it already, but your art is evolving you. It's helping you to grow. So keep doing it as you feel inspired. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you can relate to this. If you want to read more about this, you can check out my Substack. I wrote an article about this last week. And otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and happy writing, happy creating, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.